Well, good morning and happy new year. My name is Willie Lawson, and this is the morning report. This is the first morning report of 2024. That's going to be kind of hard to keep saying. 2024. Well, we'll get used to it. I trust that your holidays were fantastic. Um, Post Thanksgiving, everything's super. I'm getting, for those of you who know that I was dealing with some health struggles. I got to tell you, I'm getting stronger every single solitary day. I have decided to, I decided over the break to take it easy. We didn't travel. We didn't do anything. But basically, I stayed at home and stayed in my recliner. And my wife waited on me hand and foot because she's awesome. And I only went out when I actually absolutely wanted to. Going out is like taking a walk, and I'm going to take a walk after I'm done with this, I promise, because that really helps building my endurance back up. So I am on the mend. Things are getting better. I've got, I'm a man in the 60s, so of course I've got doctor's appointments and that kind of stuff. But taking medication, doctor's appointments, all that crap. Oh, well, getting old is not for sissies, that's for sure. But I'm getting stronger every single day. Looking forward to getting back to teaching. Our studio opens up again on the 8th, yes, of January, and I got stuff for you to do. Again, we are in an era of expansion, not contraction, because it is important that what we do expands and not contracts. So we are looking forward to, if you are looking for a place to spread content, send us some. Send us some. Let's have a conversation. Send me an email at fightbackmedia@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let's talk. Let's see if we can collaborate. Let's see if we can get your content sent out from where you are, because we've all not said that it is the local folks that drive the bus, really. All these things that are happening in our nation would not be possible, would have not happened if we had more local control, more local exposure. So again, that is the call out to you, our call of action to you. Join us. Join us in 2024 in this struggle to save our republic. All right. Speaking of that, on December 17th was the birthday, the heavenly birthday of a good friend of mine and the show's and my family's, Shirley Husar. Shirley Husar is the CEO of Urban Game Changers. And we sort of found that it was her idea, and we sort of pushed it forward together. And one of the things that Shirley was pioneering and piloting in California, when she was in California, was that people didn't really get how this illegal immigrant situation was affecting and was going to affect America. Now, the African American community in particular, which is the deceit of the Democrats, this sort of sleight of hand that Democrats continue to play when offering illegal immigrants the world while only asking for the votes of the African American population. Just how it's been for a long time, too. Um, so I'm sure that she would have loved to have seen some of the things that have happened. Uh, when you hear Democrat politicians from sanctuary cities, and I do that in air quotes for those of you who are listening on Spreaker, when they start to freak out when some of these small border towns in Arizona and Texas, who just do not have the resources for the influx of illegal immigrants that are crossing the border every day, decide to just bust them up and send them to a place that says, "Oh, y'all come," right? And one of the places is in the Northeast, New York, New Jersey, that kind of thing. So this is an interesting story. While speaking to New York ABC affiliate WABC on Monday, yesterday, Edison, New Jersey Mayor Sam Shashi, Democrat, surprise, surprise, stated that he turned a bus full of immigrants sent to the city back because local police, quote, did not know any of these 40 individuals. This is 40 people. Edison is not Edison is not New York, but Edison is not some small little backwater town where 40 people are going to get noticed. But he said the police did not know any of these 40 individuals if they were carrying weapons. They couldn't be identified. And he said, and this is a major security risk. It's a health risk. And we're just not going to tolerate that, Joshi said, who plans to send immigrants back to the border. Also stated that he doesn't want to pawn off problems to other mayors. Again, this whole idea of open borders and allowing these immigrants from Mexico and I wish it was just Mexico. So going down to Mexico and having a conversation with the Mexican president is like, because we're finding out that these folks are coming from all over the world, including places that hate us, especially places that hate us. So this whole idea of pawning off problems to other mayors. No, when you say that you are a sanctuary city, you're saying over here, come over here. You guys can come here. If you make it here, you're fine. Okay, well, fine. Well, here's a busload of 40 people who are headed to a sanctuary city. WABC New Jersey reporter Tony Yates stated that, quote, the town of Edison, however, has its own answer. Our charter bus to send immigrants back to the southern border. The bus that arrived the other night was simply ordered to leave. She then played a clip of Joshi saying Edison Township police officers did not know any of the 40 individuals, if they were carrying weapons, if they could be identified, all that stuff. After mentioning other arrivals in Edison over the summer and how other mayors say help and order are key, Yates played a clip of Joshi saying the solution for me as mayor of Edison is not to pawn off to another mayor. So the idea is that what he's actually doing is pawning them off to another mayor. In a smaller city, at a border town, that's less likely to be able to handle. That 40 people is a bigger deal. But we remember the 50 people on Josh's, on Martha's Vineyard, right? Was a humanitarian crisis. A humanitarian crisis. 50 people. And somehow 50 people on Martha's Vineyard is a humanitarian crisis, but 50 people in some small border town that is already overrun is somehow not. Shirley, you got to say something, sweetie. You were right. You were right all along, which is why I got involved. You were right. Insane. All right, we'll be back right after this.
We could give back. So here's what we're going to do. For every 10 jobs that we do that are $300 or more, we're going to do one veteran home for free. Now, when I say home, we're talking house wash, driveway, sidewalks, and perimeter fence if they have one. So I need your help with exposure on this so that we can get the jobs that we need as well as the veteran homes to clean, which is going to be a total surprise for them. We're going to show up, knock on the door, and let them know right then and there in the moment what it is that we're going to be doing for them. It is going to be pretty cool. And here's a bonus offer for all of you who help us with this. We're also going to offer 15% off all cleaning that's over $300 just to say thanks. So if you could do me a huge favor, like, comment, and share this video so that we can get the word out and start cleaning homes of veterans right here in Tampa.
Well, welcome back. At the same time, on Monday's CNN News Central, Chicago Alderman Brian Lopez stated that Texas Governor Greg Abbott sending illegal immigrants to the city and a lack of federal support means that our whole community is at the brink of collapse. Well, Greg Abbott wouldn't be sending immigrants to Chicago or to your sanctuary city, air quotes, if the federal government was doing their part, your community wouldn't be on the brink of collapse. If people like you, Alderman Lopez, weren't calling for open borders, your community wouldn't be on the brink of collapse. And it's putting the risk of the lives of our new neighbors and also the safety of Chicagoans across the city. But he's glad the city is staying a sanctuary city. Now you have to wonder if these people are stupid, and I keep telling you they are not, or they're evil, and I keep telling you that they are. Uh, Lopez also stated that the circumstances facing migrants are really dire in communities like ours. We had the recent death of a 5-year-old boy, John Carlos Martinez, because the many conditions and the really poor conditions that are set for our new neighbors in our communities. Well, how about the people? I mean, you probably haven't heard much about this because on CNN and MSNBC and about the people in Chicago who live there in those conditions already, who have been asking for help from the city for years, and see what the illegal immigrants are getting and the attention that they're getting by people like Alderman Lopez. You haven't seen those. Yeah. You need to pay more attention to us and people like us. Anyway, we have to really congregate as many of our shelters, 2,500 people in a matter of weeks, because of the lack of support at the federal level, and because these tactics of human trafficking are putting at risk the lives of our new neighbors. And they're calling, he won't call them illegal immigrants. They're new neighbors. These people didn't just like decide to move to Chicago from Madison, Wisconsin. These are not your new neighbors. These are illegal immigrants that were bused to a sanctuary city like Chicago. And now you're calling for federal help. The same federal help that is mandated to the border cities that they weren't getting. Keep that in mind. Okay. We've seen inhumane practices also that have cost the life of a 3-year-old little girl who only months ago in transit from Texas to Chicago. We've seen conditions worsening because of the tactics that continue to be worsening. We now see Governor Abbott sending people by plane, which is putting really our community not only at risk, but is putting our whole community on the brink of collapse, is what Alderman Lopez keeps saying. Uh, So is this really an urgent call for federal government to take leadership in the matter? We are really seeing a desperate attempt to destabilize or harm our communities, immigrant communities that have suffered so much. Now, what Alderman Lopez is deciding to ignore on purpose is that some of these border towns have already collapsed. That he doesn't see any of those people because they are mostly white and suffering. And actually, a lot of people in those border towns aren't white in the traditional sense of white. A lot of them are Mexican people who got into the country legally, but they are in these border towns, and these border towns are suffering. They don't have the stuff to just continue to take the influx day after day after day, week after week after week, year after year after year. They don't. So when Chicago raises their hand and says, "Hey, we're a sanctuary city. If you can get here, okay." Oh, New York, "Hey, we're a sanctuary city. If you can get here, all right." Hey, we're San Francisco. We're a sanctuary city. If you can get here, it is the continuous and never-ending hypocrisy of these people that drive us nuts. That's the part that drives us nuts. I mean, this continued hypocrisy. Anyway, he added that we cannot negotiate our humanity. You're right. So either we do something at the federal level where it's going to matter, or you're going to have to live up to your humanity. That is really at stake here. We have, unfortunately, governors like Governor Abbott, he says, who do not see us as human beings because Alderman Lopez doesn't see those people who live in those border towns as human beings either. On the other hand, we have mayors like Mayor Johnson that have not only stood up for what's right, but even protected our sanctuary status so we protect our human rights and collaborate in safety measures and collaborate with anyone across the country that is willing to put solutions on the table. The solution on the table right now is there are two. Either you stop whining and live up to what you say your humanity is, or the federal government has to do what it's supposed to do, come to the southern border, our southwestern border, and secure it. Those are your only two choices. Alderman Lopez, love to have you on the program. If you hear about this, send us an email at fightbackmedia@gmail.com, fightbackmedia@gmail.com, fightbackmedia@gmail.com. And do we see y'all again? Again, Happy New Year. And until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody. And for goodness sakes, y'all take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you. Bye-bye now.